Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with a little preview of what's happening at ClassicsToday.com. You know, July was a very good year for month. It's a month, right? Yeah. July was a very good month for composer birthdays. Mahler, of course, who we just featured. Janacek is coming up. Well, I mean, he was July 3rd, so he's done. And also Respighi, who we all love. I mean, don't we just adore Respighi? He wrote so much fun, colorful music. And so we have at Classics Today some feature reviews of interesting Respighi titles, both on Insider and free reviews, so you can go have a look at those. And if you are an Insider subscriber, which I hope you are all becoming, well, remember we talked about Respighi's Dramatic Symphony and the new recording on Ondine by Robert Trevino? And it's like, yeah, it's all right. It's good, but not the best. The best was Daniel Nazareth's on Naxos, believe it or not, with the Slovak Philharmonic. It came out of nowhere, but it's wonderfully well recorded. You get to hear all those throbbing organ pedals, and it's exciting as hell. And it really hasn't been bettered. And so if you are an insider, you can go hear a sample of that recording over at ClassicsToday.com. But there are also the other reviews of that symphony. So you can see some of the more recent things that have come out and maybe round out your view of what makes a good performance and what it's like and who really nails it. It's not that there have been that many recordings, only about 3 or 4. And so this is a good opportunity, if you're interested in the work, to go and figure out what the best ones are. Also at ClassicsToday.com, an absolutely splendid piece by Tim Page on the fact that not all classics are masterpieces. He talks about works that have issues, but that should be heard anyway, despite the issues. At least the good bits, where possible, or where not possible, well, the whole thing, and you kind of make do with what you get. And I think there may be a little controversy in some of his selections. So I really recommend that you go over and read his editorial, it's free for everybody. Just go have a look. It's there on the home page. And as a result of that, I think we're going to be starting a new series here over at good old ClassicsToday.com. Works that are imperfect, but we love them anyway. Let me give it a little thought, and I'll toss out a few examples of such, and then you guys can give me your lists or I wouldn't say lists, your selections for works that are imperfect, but we love them anyway. And we can talk about some of them. We can have a real discussion about some of these pieces, and also how a great performance can either exacerbate or at least minimize to a degree some of those imperfections. Also in Insider this week, a wonderful feature with sound samples, because I can do sound samples at ClassicsToday.com. Klemperer's bass lines. Yes, and the importance of bass lines in hearing what the composer actually wrote, and how seldom, for some reason, conductors are willing to make the necessary dynamic adjustments to allow us to hear incredibly important bass lines that have thematic purpose. And they're willing to just like cover up the music with whatever's on top. Now, some of the fault may be the composers. It probably is the composers up to a point. Sometimes the scoring is top heavy. Sometimes we don't hear all the details. But one of the things a conductor is supposed to do is allow us to hear those details. And Klemperer was second to none, because he allowed us to do it without distracting from the overall flow of the music. He integrated his clarity into the actual ongoing musical discourse, which really makes it all the more amazing. And the two examples that I give are Beethoven's Fourth Symphony, the Scherzo, and the Scherzo also of Dvorak's New World Symphony. The Beethoven Fourth is very, very interesting, because at the very end, the very end, you've got a dialogue between the upper and lower, well, the lower and upper strings. Do 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 da 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 do 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 da 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 da. Well, you never hear the lower strings. What you hear is da 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 da, which is, when I first heard Klemperer's recording, it blew my mind because it's like, oh, look, there's music. There's a through line of music in a dialogue between the upper and lower parts of the orchestra that we never get to hear. And you really never get to hear it on period instruments. And I do some comparisons there that allows you to hear how Klemperer beats them all. Then the New World Symphony, the scherzo. Oh, well, we all know it's a canon, right? You know, and the woodwinds following each other. And that canon works its way down through the orchestra as the volume increases until finally it's given to the third and fourth horns, solo, basically, and the lower strings. And you never hear it. It's crazy. What you hear is ya da 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 da, the top, but you don't hear the melody in the bottom. Just like astounding. And when you add to that Klemperer's preternatural emphasis on woodwinds and the clarity of the woodwind dialogues, it just sounds like nothing else that anybody ever did. I mean, it's one of those things that sent me running to the score to see what was really going on. And sure enough, what he's doing is exactly what Dvorak wrote. It's incredible. It's everybody else who is ignoring what Dvorak wrote in favor of other things. I get it. Not everything has to be that level of clarity, but there are spots where, when you can hear what's really going on, it comes as a revelation. So if you're curious and you're a ClassicsToday.com insider, please go and check out the Klemperer's amazing bass lines feature, because there's just some extraordinary stuff there. So I hope that this will whet your appetite. There will, of course, be some new reviews and other things happening in the course of the week, but these are the features. And I hope you'll find it as interesting and fun as I had putting it all together. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.